What if I told you you could get into a conversational flow state? And you know what a flow state is, right? It's when the task you're doing is completely effortless. You're able to glide through it. Like time around you seems to warp because you're so engulfed in the task. Like this is when the athlete is able to hit dunk after dunk in basketball. It's when you're able to study hours upon hours fully engaged. This is when Yuji Itadori hits his infamous black flash. You know the way. And I was recently in one of these conversational flow states, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to get into it yourself, because it is amazing. I remember I was in class, and I was partnered with a friend of mine for this psychological project. Now, we were tasked with talking about swimming, and I knew my partner was very much an avid swimmer. He was into Michael Phelps and everything. So I started talking to him, and I was doing all of the rules that, you know, these social people tell you to do. I was smiling, I was nodding, I was asking questions, I was taking an interest. I was doing all of these things. And you know how well the conversation went? It went terribly. Eventually, he went from giving me full sentence answers to one-word answers, until eventually he literally took his seat and turned it so that he could be speaking to another group of peers instead of me. Now, fast forward to a few weeks ago, where I just got back from playing basketball outside, and I wanted, okay, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and spend the next hour writing this video that you're watching right now. I didn't even know what I was gonna say, but I needed to work. And then in the corner of the classroom, I see a acquaintance of mine. He's on his phone, you know, just watching something. And I think, okay, well, you know, I'll like talk to him for a minute or two just to get myself social at some point. And I ended up sitting down with him and talking for an hour and 10 minutes straight about nostalgic horror video games that we used to play. Things like Until Dawn, Silent Hill, Amnesia, what else? You know, like the old school 2010s, like the Jacksepticeye Markiplier used to play. We geeked out about it, and like watching them play Outlast, that's another one. So Outlast, Until Dawn, Silent Hill, classics. And I had no idea how this happened, because I didn't go in there intending to speak with him for an hour about video games. And I certainly know he didn't as well. Like, I had sat down in that class to study, to work, and I got none of it done whatsoever. So what do you think the difference was between these two interactions? I was still speaking with a person about a topic. I was still doing the social things like asking questions, like nodding, like smiling. So what do you think the issue was with one that I didn't have with the other? And if you find this helpful, then I have an entire full program about how to go from timid and shy to charismatic and social with an entire new friend group. So if you want it, check it out in the description down below. So what is this? Well, it's something that I'm coining the term authentic inquiry. It's almost like a child would. You're so interested in the topic and the other person's views and opinions on said topic that you could talk about it for hours. Like, I heard this great analogy. Imagine you were literally just teleported into a fantasy world that had like magic. Do you think that the first person that you saw, you would be thinking, well, you know, I guess I shouldn't really bother them? No, bro, you would walk up to them and have so many questions. You'd be asking, bro, like, what is this place about? Like, can you do magic? Can you do magic? Who are these people? You would be begging to know everything about the topic. And I'm sure the other person would tell. He would be like, oh my word, this person is so enthusiastic. It is crazy. You see, when you have something that you and the other person can chat about for hours, the conversation doesn't need to follow any sort of script like, okay, well, I'm gonna say this, he's gonna follow it with something like this, then I can respond with that. No, you just go for it. And if you don't have that topic, the conversation is naturally gonna be a bit drier, a bit weaker, and it shows that maybe you guys don't really vibe that much. Now, if you don't meet a new person and have this conversation in the first few seconds, that doesn't mean you're not gonna ever be friends. But I've noticed the people that you have these conversations with, they're keepers. Like, it's amazing. So, how do you find these friends? Well, again, I go over this all in my program, but like a sneak peek you could say, is that you need to literally increase the volume of people you're meeting. Like, it's really a numbers game at the end of the day. Everybody thinks that being social is like a magic thing. Like, oh, you'll just like bump into your best friend, accidentally kiss and like just, oh, okay, I guess we're friends now. No, dude, it's literally just intentionally meeting more people and then finding people that vibe with you. So, I hope you found this helpful. Remember, take action, learn from failure. So yeah.